Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me again. I'm back here with another video, and today I'm really excited. I don't know why, but today I got the itch to do like a album versus album kind of thing with two albums from my favorite band of all time. And these are albums that are kind of like brothers or sisters albums from this band, and they're really controversial. A lot of people hate them, some people love them. I happen to love these albums, but today, that's right, we're going to be talking about Metallica's Load versus Reload. All right, we're going to be going over these two albums today. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the albums. I'm also going to be giving you a little bit of a sneak peek or unboxing, I guess, of the physical copies that I have. And just kind of give you my thoughts on each album and then give you which album I think is actually better. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in. So, first I'm just going to show you some of the physical copies. So don't have the vinyls yet. I'm looking for the right price on those and trying to see where I can get a good deal on those. But I do have the CDs. So this right here, this is going to be Load. We all know Load. If you're a Metallica fan, you know this album well. So that's the front and that's the back. Okay. This is Reload. Pretty similar logo, obviously a similar title, kind of similar artwork. And then there's the back. These particular pressings that I have right here, these are on Blackened Recordings, which is Metallica's own record label. So these are relatively new pressings within the last, I don't know, few years probably, maybe within the last 5. I don't know exactly, but I know these are really, really new because what Metallica's done is they've re-released all of their recordings. They own all their music now. They own all the rights to them. So they release them through their own record label, Blackened Recordings. So what you'll see is actually on the side there. Hopefully you can see that. I think it's up top. Yeah, it says Blackened Recordings. And then you also, like on the back of this Reload record, down here, I believe, yeah, you'll see a little B for the Blackened Recordings logo there. So, and apparently these are remastered from their original pressings in the 90s. So yeah, Load came out in 1996 and Reload came out just a year later in 1997. Both these albums, all the songs on them were recorded pretty much in the same session. So after the Black Album, Metallica toured like crazy from 1991 through 94, and then they took a little bit of time off, and they started writing songs again in 95. The first batch of songs that got done were put on Load and released in 96, and then the rest of the songs were later finished up in the studio and released in 97. So I mean, all these songs have a really similar feel and a really similar sound as far as the mixing goes. But the songs itself, the albums themselves sound completely different to me. And I do have a favorite. But let's give you another look at the inside here. So here's the inside of Load. You can see the CD over there. It's got that logo that they came out with in around this era. Yeah, and then in the back behind the CD, there's that logo, which kind of matches the front of this CD. I always liked how Metallica put the song titles and how long each song is on the front of their CDs. I always liked that. It's a nice little touch, I guess. But I actually like that little ninja star logo that Metallica did. And all they did was they took the M from the old Metallica logo and just did it around 4 times. So here's the M from the old logo, and they just put it around each other. They just did it 4 times to make a little ninja star. So that's kind of cool. Now, I got to be honest, this booklet, I'm not a fan of the artwork in this. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Metallica. But there's the cover. This cover was pretty controversial too because it's done by an artist. What's his name? Should be in here. Andres Serrano. Yeah, and this is apparently blood and semen that he put between plexiglass, I think, or whatever. So that's kind of weird. But whatever, you know, I mean, it's just a cover. Not sure what Metallica was going for there, but I think Lars picked that cover. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, these pictures in here, I don't know what the band was thinking, honestly. Like, there's some pictures down here where, like, Lars and Kirk have makeup on, and they're trying to look like GQ almost, or just, I don't know what they're doing. Very weird. I kind of like these ink blot things. Kind of like that stuff. And another weird thing, Metallica, what is with James right here? I don't know what they're doing here. It's totally not Metallica. But, and another weird thing is they have lyrics in here for Load and Reload, but they didn't put the whole lyrics for each song. They just took like little snippets. Yeah, King Nothing. Yeah, Lars looking like a girl over here. I don't know what they were trying to go for. But yeah, bunch of pictures, some lyrics. So yeah, this is definitely, I could see why fans at the time when this came out, that they were kind of like, WTF Metallica, you know, if they were used to the Black Album, which was just kind of traditional Metallica. You know, the songs were a little bit different. They weren't as long, a little less thrashy, but still heavy. And Metallica was just still, you know, the Metallica from the 80s. And then you see this, I could see why some people would be like, what's going on here, Metallica? What are you doing? But some information, you know, a little bit of information in here too. You have who's in the band, James, Lars, Kirk, and Jason, and then the songs on here, and then who wrote each song. Metallica's always done that. They give writing credits to each song individually. Something of note, Jason Newsted doesn't have a writing credit on this album. So that was his first album that he didn't have a writing credit on. But yeah, so that's the inside of Load. Yeah, not the biggest fan of this cover or the artwork inside. Again, I'm really not sure what Metallica was going for on that. It looks like they were just trying to switch things up or do something different for the sake of doing something different. But here's Reload. So here's the inside. Again, the CD has that same Ninja Star logo, but different color. Reload is gray. Same layout though. The songs are just there with how long each song is. And then behind that, you have the gray Ninja Star logo again. So I do like how they kept that part of the theme pretty similar, almost identical to Load. With Reload, I like how they switched up the colors too. They were black on Load, gray on Reload. And now inside, I really like Reload's booklet here. The artwork is a lot cooler in my opinion. It's just pictures of the guys playing. And I think the pictures are taken from them playing during the concert that was actually ended up being released as Cunning Stunts. So go ahead and check out that Metallica DVD, Cunning Stunts. I believe it's a show they played in 1997 in Fort Worth, Texas. But, you know, same thing. It has just kind of snippets of lyrics in here, not the whole lyrics for each song. But it does continue that theme of that ink blottage stuff that Load had, which I really like. You know, I like that stuff over here. And I just like that they went back to, hey, just get us playing, you know, because that's what Metallica is known for. I mean, they're a live band. They tour and they play live. That's really what they're known for. So yeah, these pictures are just a lot cooler to me. But yeah, look at this song, Prince Charming. They have one line, "Hey Ma, look, it's me." You know, so that was different. Usually with all their other albums, they they put a lot more lyrics. Yeah, and then Low Man's lyric, the next song, has a lot more lyrics than Prince Charming. So it looks like there's just kind of no rhyme or reason, kind of random. And then again in the back, information about the album, the guys, and then the songs with writing credits. Jason Newsted does have a writing credit on this album, Where the Wild Things Are, which is actually a really good song in my opinion. But so that's inside of ReLoad. And then I wanted to share something that not a lot of people have probably seen or know about, but in the US, they did release Load and ReLoad in this kind of little box set. So the albums come together, and one side has the cover of Load, the other has ReLoad. And these are actually original releases and pressings from 96, 97 respectively. It says Elektra up here instead of blackened recordings. And you can see at the bottom down here has the Elektra logo instead of the B. So that's kind of cool. You know, honestly, I can't tell a difference between the pressings as far as how they sound, but Metallica is my favorite band, and I just had to have this little box set thing. You know, and I'll be honest, Load and ReLoad, I love that era from Metallica. It's a really cool era in my opinion. And I like the sound, I like the songs, I like that they were trying something different. You know, these albums, they really do sound different than their previous stuff. I mean, they sound kind of similar as far as mixing goes to the Black Album. And, you know, let's be real, the Black Album sounded great compared to their earlier stuff from the 80s. It had a good production. It sounded good. Now the songs, obviously they were shorter, they were less fast, and they experimented with some different sounds like The Unforgiven, Nothing Else Matters, My Friend in Misery, but those were really cool sounds, and it was a cool album overall. But Load and ReLoad kind of took that experimenting Metallica was doing to the next level. A lot of fans didn't like it. You know, and I get it. If you were expecting, you know, a really fast, thrashy, heavy album, or even just something like the Black Album, and then you got Load, I could see totally how you'd be disappointed or kind of like, what are you doing here, Metallica? Like I said earlier. But for me, I try to always, especially with bands that I really like, I just try to listen to the album for what it is, try to go in with zero expectations, just listen to it. And so with these albums, again, Bob Rock's producing it, and I really like the production. I like the sound. They're really good sounding albums. And I do like that they were switching it up and adding different sounds and elements to their songs. You know, these albums are still heavy. They're still metal. They're not thrash metal by any means, but they're still heavy. But then they also have some different types of sounds that they were experimenting with. You know, like, you know, there's Unforgiven 2 on ReLoad. There's Until It Sleeps on Load. You know, Hero of the Day on Load is really, really different. That's really not that heavy at all. You know, and there's Low Man's Lyric, which is a totally different type of song that they did. Ronnie, you know, on Load was a pretty different song. Mama Said on Load was like a country type song. But I really like that song, you know? So, yeah, I mean, with that being said, some notable tracks off each album. I'll just kind of go down the line on each one, but, you know, Load, let's see, Until It Sleeps is a good one. You know, I do like King Nothing. I like that bass line, and King Nothing almost sounds like it could be on the Black Album. It's that type of song. Bleeding Me is one of the coolest Metallica songs they've ever done, in my opinion. James, I feel, is talking about some deep stuff, and I think we've all been there where we can relate to what he's talking about in that song. And I like the effects that they have, or they put on their guitars for that slower part in the beginning of the song, and then it does get heavier towards the middle. of that song, and then it ends mellow again. And it's a long song. I love when Metallica did like 7-8 minute long songs. So Bleeding Me, one of my favorite Metallica songs of all time. Wasting My Hate is a pretty cool song too. It's really short, but it's really fast and kind of a heavy song, so I like that. Mama Said, I'm not gonna lie, man, I like that song. It's totally different, and again, James is being real. I think he's being pretty vulnerable, so to speak, and just speaking from his heart, and I like that. The last two songs, Ronnie and the Outlaw Torn, last track on Load, is again one of the coolest Metallica songs they've ever done. I like the opening bass line. I really like the kind of spacey sounds that they're going with. The guitar solo from Kirk is really, really cool in the middle of that song. And again, they're kind of tinkering around with some different effects, and it's just an awesome song. It's super long. It's over 9 minutes long. I really, really, really like the Outlaw Torn. ReLoad, I mean, Fuel, that's just kind of a, pretty stereotypical, just heavy song about cars and driving fast. Who doesn't like that? The Memory Remains is a really cool song. I liked what they did with James's vocals. I think they put like 2 vocal tracks over each other for the verse there. And then I like the riff there. And they added Marion Faith Hill to that song to give it a little extra something different. So I like that. Devil's Dance, it's a really cool song too. It's super, super heavy, man. It's not fast, but super heavy, and I like the opening bass line. The Unforgiven 2 is really good, I mean, those first 4 songs on ReLoad are just great. Better Than You is really heavy too. I like that song. Like it a lot. Carpe Diem Baby, that's another good one. Kind of slower, but it's heavy. And again, I like the message that James is talking about there. Where the Wild Things Are, Jason Newsted's only writing credit from the ReLoad sessions. Really, really good. Different type of song, kind of eerie and then heavy at the same time. A cool bass line in the middle of that song too, in my opinion. And then the last 3 songs, Low Man's Lyric, really good. Really nice change of pace. Really like that song. Attitude is kind of cool. It's a little cheesy, but it's got some nice riffs in there. And then one of my favorite songs of all time too, Fixer, man. I wish Metallica would play that live. Metallica, if for some reason you come across this video, you got to play Fixer live, man. I think the closest they ever came was, I was watching Woodstock 99 live in 99 when they were playing there. And I think James, in one of their little interludes between songs, he was kind of tinkering around on the guitar, and it was the Fixer riff, but that was it. They got to play that live. But so anyway, which album is better? If they were fighting in a match, who's gonna win? And so I gotta be honest, I gotta give it to ReLoad. ReLoad is my choice. I think it's a better album all around. I've heard some people say there's more filler on ReLoad and it's just the leftovers from Load, but man, I totally disagree. I think ReLoad is just a much better rock album. Load sounds a lot more bluesy to me, like a bluesy kind of rock album, kind of like a southern rock bluesy kind of feel, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I like that album, but ReLoad is just more of what I'm looking for, what I'm into, and it's just a traditional, just heavy rock album. And I love what they did with that album. So I think it's far superior to Load, and that those songs are actually way better. Like I said, Fixer is one of my favorite songs of all time. Definitely one of my favorites from Metallica, and I wish they'd play that live. So yeah, overall, album versus album, I gotta give it to ReLoad. But, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I've talked to a lot of people about these 2 albums, and a lot of people hate them, which I understand. They're totally different, but I actually love them. They're some of my favorite albums from the band. I kind of wish that they would have stayed in that direction, for some of their albums later on, but they didn't. That's okay. But yeah, let me know in the comments which album you like more, Load or ReLoad, and just give me your thoughts on these albums. I love talking about these albums. Everyone has so many strong opinions about them. So let me know what you think. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you love and hate them? Are there things you like about them, but that you also dislike? So let me know, and then let me know what your favorite tracks off the albums are. if I had to pick 3 tracks off these albums, just a total of 3 between the two, I'm gonna have to say Fixer, Bleeding Me, and The Outlaw Torn, man. I know 2 of those 3 are off Load, and I like ReLoad better, but yeah, I'd have to say those are my top 3. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel by hitting that button. Hit that like button also. I'd greatly appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Go listen to some metal. God bless everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again.